I just figured I'd do one last update on this demo job. We ain't done yet, but we're gonna be done today for sure. So I just figured I'd walk you through the site and just kind of show you some of the processes that we went through when we're doing this site. So first thing is, obviously I went to do the bid. The customer called me up and he's like, hey man, I need a bid for this. The county's on my tail. So what's up, John? And so I said, okay. He wanted a rough estimate. Everybody wants a rough estimate. As soon as they call you, they're like, how much is it? How much is it? Everybody, without even seeing the thing, everybody wants to know, how much is it? How much is this gonna cost me? Just throw a number out there without even seeing anything. That's the number one thing. Ooh, that's a cool tree harvester right there. I don't know if you guys got to see that. That's the first thing every single person wants to know. How much is it? Without even with you out even seeing it, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, how old's the house? Has the abatement been done? Just asking them some basic questions. Is it on septic, sewer, water, well? How many square feet is the house? That's an old truck. Just asking all those type of questions. Yeah, exactly, Blake. They want you to undercut the job before you even get to see it. And I'm like, well, is it full of junk? Is it empty? Those are some other type of questions you got to ask them. And then you say, okay, well, once you've done one, then you kind of know how much it's going to cost to dump the stuff, right? At least with my experience. I did one demo, and then I got a really good sense of how much it costs to get rid of that stuff, which is, it costs a fortune, right? So the first time I did the demo, it cost like 10 grand in just dumpster fees. So I automatically assumed, okay, 10 grand for the dumpster fees, if we have to use small dumpsters, right? So I jacked that price up because you never know what you're getting into until you see it, right? So I said, okay, let's just assume the worst case scenario, we have to use like 10 small dumpsters. That's gonna be 10 grand to get rid of it. Okay. And then I figure I'll be on site for 4 days, so that's $1,000 a day, 4,000, right? And so get the job, come back in a couple days with some gasoline. Yeah, just make sure. Yeah, a couple cans of gas, man, that would really do it. But then then you got all the, some people don't want to haul away burnt wood and stuff, but anyway, so I just told them, I said, without seeing it, roughly around $10,000, just without seeing it. I knew I was probably going to charge more, but that's just kind of what I told them. It's going to be around 10,000. I have to see the exact specifics of the job site to give you a better, accurate number. He's like, okay, you sound like you know what you're doing. And I see you got a lot of good reviews on Google. So I'm like, okay, send me the address and the parcel number, and we'll get going on the permit and everything. And, people like to see that you're professional, right? So definitely mention getting a permit, when you do it, to the customer. Just say, hey, there's also a permit involved with this, and it's going to cost you a little bit of money too, and that's going to be on top of the bid or whatever. So I did that, and then filed for the permit. That wasn't that bad. It was like $150 or something. And then I'm thinking, okay, I see everything, and I'm like, okay, I think it's gonna be a little more, so I just said 14, And then I had a contact for the big dumpsters. They call them grandolas, I guess is what they call them. They're basically 130-yard containers, right? And so they charge $2 grand a pop. I figured the double wide I did was under 100 yards total, and it was a double wide, and so I was like trying to compare the sizes in my mind, and I'm like, okay, this seems like, you know, 1 maybe 2 at most, right? So I'm thinking, okay, $4 grand total for the dump fees. Once I seen the job site, I'm like, okay, $4 grand, and then I'm like, okay, now with the big trailer, there's extra added cost, right? Because you got this massive semi coming in here. You can't just have them driving on mush, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to bring in a load of, you know, 2 to 4 spalls, or, you know, I brought in 3-inch clean, which is basically 2 to 4. I just get a good deal at it at the rock quarry next to my house because I, you know, work with them a ton. So, so that goes into the cost too. So I came here and I crunched everything up, kept everything nice and neat. You know, you guys are gonna see that. But so here's the rock job. I spread it out with the 120, you know, with just the tooth bucket, and then I tracked it in. So I drove over it a whole bunch of times, you know, to make it kind of smooth. So then once we had that all done, which I had to do that anyways, I had to bring in some rock because the homeowner had dug in, or somebody dug a ditch across the driveway, right? And they put logs and stuff in front of it, which, you know, it's kind of a pain, but I understand why they did it. You know, they don't want people dumping stuff and all that jazz. So they dug a ditch across. I had to fill that in, and had been raining for like a week, so it was all mush. So we had to put some rock in there, right? And then, so now you can see, let me just show you guys the job site real quick. I know after the fact that the video footage isn't that great, so I'm going to kind of go slow. So here this is where the house used to be, right? So I basically, you know, picked it all out, cleaned everything up, and then I used the teeth, you know, to kind of comb it, right? And then I just tracked it out. I just, you know, drove over it a whole bunch of times with the tracks, right? You can see all the track marks basically. And then I spreaded this. This is a feed type hay, but normally you just get straw, but they were out of straw. So I just bought this stuff just to toss it down, you know, to make it look a little bit better than just clean dirt, you know what I mean? So toss that down. The inspectors like that, you know, it's kind of like erosion control, and it's not just a big muddy mess, you know what I mean? So toss that down. That was like 20 bucks, right? And then, so as you guys know, I got lucky and there's this big concrete pad here. So we kept all the debris basically on this concrete pad. You can see the concrete pad is basically right here. You can see the concrete, and it basically just goes like that. So all this is contained on this concrete pad. I did, however, go through this morning with this little rake. If you do demo jobs, you gotta get one of these rakes. These things, or if you do any tree work, these rakes are amazing for getting up stupid stuff. They got 2 different little things, right? They're like 20 bucks at a hardware store. Buy one of these. I broke the handle on it being stupid a long time ago, but it's still a good thing. There's all the copper pipe. It's all wadded up. Gotta try and recycle that. Maybe get 20 bucks or something out of it. Who knows? So now, as you can see, I got a 2-stage level with the excavator, right? It's sitting on a small pad. It's about, you know, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, right? And you guys seen how I had it before, right? So it was basically the same deal, except for it was up a lot higher. So let me walk around and just show you. Right, so I got a 2-stage. I got the low where the excavator's gonna be tracking, and then I got all this stuff that I'm gonna be loading first, right? So I got this big pile, and you can see that everything's on the concrete. This is all concrete right here too, But you can see everything is contained on this concrete. And I just went by early this morning, and yeah, we're looking at the super dump today. So I just went by with the rake, and I just raked everything off the grass. That, you know, sometimes you get a little bit of spillage, you know. And so we got that all nice and clean. All the dirt's clean. I mean, it's all looking nice. So now all we have to do is wait for the truck to show up. He'll back in the same spot. And then what I'll do is, you can see I got a lot piled back here. I'll just load it up, and I'll just work my way this way. And then once all that's in the truck, then I'll work my way back, you know, taking off the pile, right? So that's how I'm gonna do it. I just work my way this way, and then I work my way back. So I start, you know, tossing all this back stuff in there, and work my way this way in the truck, filling it up, and then I work my way back with all this stuff. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I think it's pretty efficient. I don't know, somebody probably argue and say, oh no, Brian, just go straight to front to back or something. I don't know. Who knows what everybody does. So that's how I'm doing it, guys. So we are looking at the super dump today. I know you guys are super excited about that. What time you going to look at the new truck? I'm guessing I'm going to be looking at the truck, let's say 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm not sure yet. The dumpster guy's running a little late, so once he gets here and gets backed in, then it'll be about an hour for me to load him, right? So he's going to be here. He said 8:30 is his ETA. So we'll be done loading him by about 9:30, 10. And then I figure I got another, half an hour to just sweep everything up and just clean, make everything look really professional. So that would be, let's see, basically like 11:30-ish. Then I got a half an hour drive to my grandpa's, and then another hour all the way to the super dump, right? So probably around 1, 2 o'clock-ish, I'm thinking. And right now it's, let's see, what time is it? It's 8:30. So my dumpster should be showing up in 10 minutes, give or take. So it's freaking crazy, guys. Grandpa's going to look at the super dump with me, so I just won't be by myself. Grandpa will be there with me, which would be kind of cool. I did keep one souvenir from this job. It's a little, basically it's a little ceramic knob. It's like the knob and tube type electrical stuff, but that's kind of cool. I'll clean it up and put it in my bathroom or something. Souvenir. You know why my grandpa's going? Why is my grandpa going? He wants to see it. You know? He definitely wants to see it. Two eyes are better than one. Because he'll tell you to buy it. You're probably right, John. You're probably right. When I told Grandpa the price, he was like, we need to buy that. I got all my lunch over here on the floor. It fell down. Whew. I got a bagel and cream cheese for breakfast today. So I already warmed up the excavator. I just shut it off because, you know, why waste fuel? But it's all already warm. I'm ready to rock and roll. So, pretty stoked. Alright guys, I'm gonna finish eating. Thanks for tuning in for the last update of the demo job. Once this guy shows up, I'm gonna have to back him in because it's kind of crazy. Apparently there's a lot of elk out here. I haven't seen any. Alright guys, I'm gonna catch you later. I got somebody checking in on my pickup. I'm still trying to sell my pickup. Even though I'm not gonna be buying another pickup. We'll just have one vehicle for a while. So alright, I'll catch you guys later.